Hello, everybody. My name is Ben, and this is Tales from Retail. Our first story comes from Aggravating Bar 9107. This happened a few years ago. I worked at a well known retail grocery store chain. I was working in the bakery that morning, and the store had only been open 20 minutes when this customer came up to the counter. Me, can I help you? Customer, yes, I would like to pick up my cake order. She then gave me her name, and I looked for the order. Me, I'm sorry, your order won't be ready until 10 a.m. Customer, well, I want to pick it up now since I'm already here. Me, it's not ready yet. The cake decorator won't be in until 8. Customer, I want to pick it up now. Me, I can't help you. There's no one here to do it. Customer, well, you're here. You do it. Me, I'm not a decorator. I can't do cakes. Customer, do it. I don't want to have to come back. Me, I do not have the training to do cakes. You will just have to come back at 10 to pick up your order. Customer, do it. Do I have to get a manager? Me, go ahead. She can't do cakes either. this this appeals to me as a retail worker. I love when people try to tell you to do things that are outside of your training. I mean, sometimes you can figure it out. Don't get me wrong, but a cake decorator is a very specific, like, specialized thing. I for sure couldn't decorate a cake, and if this person is saying that they couldn't decorate a cake either, I tend to believe them, but I have been in this position far too often as a retail worker, so I feel your pain, OP. I feel your pain. Our next story is from Peculiar Potato. 2 years ago, I, a 22-year-old female, worked at retail in a big store that sold almost anything from clothes to bricks. You name it, they sold it. Since I was a student working to make some money, I got to ring up orders. Nobody was a really big fan of doing the registers because people could be very unkind. One day, two ladies came to my register purchasing baby clothes. One held the stroller while the other one took the clothes. They had a gift card for 50 euros. She got two items, a little pajama set and a sweater. Both were on sale for like 40% off, I think. Well, the lady thought the total was 50 euros, so she just placed the gift card and started walking away. Then this conversation ensued. Excuse me, ma'am, your total is 51 euros. That's not right, it's on sale. Yes, that's true, but together they are 51, not 50. No, you can't count. It is 50. I start to get a bit annoyed, but I had to put on my customer service face. I'm not counting. I scanned it in and my computer says it's 51. Then your computer is wrong. Look, I'll type it in a calculator. You can watch while I type. Oh. So you see, I'm not making it up. Without an apology, she said something in another language and her friend begrudgingly gave me 1 euro. Then they both walked off without saying anything. This interaction took like 20 minutes, and there was still a big line of customers who were now impatient. This was one of the many reasons I would never want to work there anymore. This is another thing that every retail worker, unfortunately, puts up with. You end up encountering people many times, probably multiple times a day, that tell you you're wrong, that you rung up something wrong. All you're doing is scanning it in a computer. It's not rocket science. But these people make it out to be like it is, and then they act like it's your fault if something is screwed up. I mean, you just can't help these people. Our next story is from Tomorrow 26. I can't even express how frustrated I feel. Due to a party my boss was hosting, it was extremely busy. Now, after helping people nonstop at the register, I can admit that I was feeling extremely overwhelmed. This is my first job where I have to help out customers, so I'm new to this side of a customer service interaction. I would say that all of my experiences with customers have been positive so far, since October at least, and I can say that I'm usually pretty good at my job, except for today. This man and his wife come up. They're both very disinterested and frankly rude, which would be fine, but I'm already so frazzled. Then of course the register starts acting up. My anxiety levels are off the charts, so my hands shaking plus the glitchy register resulted in me struggling to ring him up. The process took a couple minutes, but I just knew he was frustrated. Mind you, he was standing on the wrong side of the register. He goes to hand me a 20 and I assume he can see his total is $16 as the register is still visible where he is standing. He practically barks at me and loudly declares, "I can't see the total!" I apologize, tell him, and take the 20. My panic is at the surface. This part is fully my fault. I just want this interaction to be over, so instead of his actual change, I grab $16 in a rush. I go to hand it to him, and I'm like, wait, this isn't right. I apologize profusely and grab him his real change, but I'm grateful that this is finally over. His wife, who was basically silent up until this point, suddenly adopts her husband's rude demeanor. "I need a bag." "Fine, take the bag." As soon as I can see the back of his bald head, I'm instantly relieved. Then he shout whispers to his wife, "She's special." What? I wish I had said something, but I was just too stunned. He really just couldn't get worse. Luckily, the guy behind him heard this interaction and was extremely kind. And that was my first bad customer service interaction. Tears were definitely shed, but I know this won't be the last negative interaction. I know this is considerably tame, but wow, very humbling experience. Edit, I also want to mention that my boss and co-workers are amazing and were so comforting about the whole thing. This comment from RKO36 definitely sums up my feelings about this. You did nothing wrong. Imagine how sick in the head you have to be to treat someone like that. Don't let it get to you. Just remember you're the one in the right here. Our next story is from Grave Thief 13. I work in retail, often shipping things directly to customers. From time to time, I get interesting messages from customers. In this case, the following messages were exchanged after one made a purchase for a brand new credit card scanner. These scanners need to be set up with a credit card processor before they are able to take payments. Customer, is this a new product? Used terminals cannot be reactivated. It will say unauthorized. Can you let me know if this is used so I can cancel it? Me, hi, this is a brand new credit card scanner that has never been used. If for some reason it does not work, I will be able to issue a refund after it is returned to me. A day passes without any other messages, so I decide to ship it out thinking that their concern was addressed. The next day, customer, who is going to be my processor so it will be authorized? I can't find anybody. And if it don't work, I throw it away. Why waste time waiting on a refund? That's stupid. 3 minutes later, I see a few, but they all require a long sign-up process. Do you have a direct processor? Me, I do not. I was only selling the physical device. I do not know anything about how it works or how it becomes authorized. Maybe I blew off their concerns a little quickly, as I received the following. Why are you lying? Did you take out the manual? Have you plugged it up and tested it? If so, did it say authorized? Because I don't have time to play. I have a business to run and this is a hindrance. Why do y'all do this? Why not just pray about it? Why get involved? That creates a backfire on what you setting up. Then you just brought something to bother you. Okay. 7 minutes later. Send my money ASAP. Me. I have made no attempt to lie or to mislead you. In your first message, you asked me if this device was new. You wanted me to cancel the order if it was used. I replied that it was indeed new, and then I shipped it out. The next day, you sent a message asking me who was going to be your card processor that would authorize the device that I had sent out to you. I didn't know anything about the device authorizing or credit card processing, and so I sent you the message stating that all I was selling you was the physical card scanner. You then said I was lying, although I'm not sure about what specifically. You asked me if I tested it by plugging it in. I do not test things that are brand new, because unlike used devices which require testing to make sure everything works, brand new devices should work perfectly out of the box. The only reason that it would not is if it was broken from the factory or damaged in shipping. It has never been plugged in and powered on. I did some research, and in order to use this, you would need to sign up with a credit card processing company that allows you to use your own equipment for scanning cards. You would need to contact credit card processing companies like Credit Card Processor. Find one that lets you use this exact model scanner that you bought and talk with them about how to get it set up. I do not do credit card processing. I run a small resale and refurbishing business focused on new and used electronics. If you need new or used hardware, or you need something fixed, I might be able to help. I do not run a multi-billion-dollar credit card processing company. All this being said, because the scanner was shipped out already, the best I can do is offer you the option to return the scanner for a refund. On your account, there should be an option to start a return for this order. It does not show up on my end. If you need further help, please let me know. Customer, thanks. OMG, you are serious, but thanks. No, it's okay. This kind of thing is frustrating. I'm not sure if they didn't know what they were buying and got frustrated, or if they were just complaining to get a free scanner by way of a refund. That OMG, you are serious, makes me wonder. This comment by Sualeaker perfectly sums up this customer's attitude. Sounds like someone who buys a computer and expects it to be already hooked up to the internet. Our next story is from Jack MLNX. It was a really busy afternoon at Shmeshko, and I was manning the 10 self-service tills. I'd clocked a middle-aged couple looking at the massive queues for normal checkouts and begrudgingly making their way to self-service. They get off to a false start as their own bag was a thick canvas material which the machine took as an unscanned item, so I go over to reset the scales. Ugh, these are supposed to be self-service tills. What's the point of you being here? She asked me, rhetorically. I'm slightly taken aback as I don't think I've ever been asked that before. Oh, well, I help customers when the machines are acting up, and I can teach them how to have a better experience, improve age-restricted items, and prevent folks from stealing. She whipped around at me. Did you just say I'm stealing? And before I could get any other words out, she threw her hands in the air and said, "That's it. We're going to a normal checkout. I can't believe you accused me of stealing, and I'm putting in a complaint to your manager." All the while, I'm trying to explain that she took it the wrong way, but it didn't get anywhere as she talked over me the whole time. Sure enough, come evening time, my manager comes down and says, "I just had a complaint from a customer who wants me to have a word with you. So this is the word with you. You did nothing wrong, but if she comes back, I have had a word with you." Down in the comments, we have a similar story from Emotional Nothing 342. This is before self-checkout. I was a manager at a major grocery store chain. I had a fresh box of pastries on my desk most days. Every BS complaint was a run upstairs to have a donut and a pep talk with me while we made sure to clear the floor of issues. We had a few crazies that we would announce over the speaker so we could give certain employees breaks when their nemesis came calling. It was rare that we made it to 3 p.m. with pastries left. This is a good way to manage, not to blame your employees for stupid customer complaints like this. I've had too many managers over me that unfortunately did the opposite of this. When I was a manager, I tried to make sure that if something like this was to happen, that I made sure to listen to both sides, just to see exactly where the lay of the land was, so to speak. I don't know. You cultivate a better employee relationship when you do stuff like that instead of just assuming that your employee is at fault all the time. Obviously, there's situations where that's not the case, where it is the employee's fault and they should get reprimanded. But this is not one of those times. This was clearly just somebody trying to make conversation with a customer that wasn't necessarily having the best of times, and it kind of backfired, unfortunately. There's nothing you can really say in this situation. Just let it go and hope that you have a good manager like this manager in OP's story. That was r/Tales from Retail. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like. Leave me a comment on what subreddits you want to see me cover next. I will see you in the next episode. Peace.